These are called vibhutis. Wealth, fame, beauty, knowledge, etc. etc. Tell me the name of a wealthy person.
The latest now is Mr. Larry Ellison, the richest man, Oracle.
So that wealth that the person possesses makes that person more rememberable. Narendra Modi ji, a powerful personality, is the head of a nation. Now right now, how many people might be remembering him? God possesses all these vibhutis to an unlimited degree. Still, why is it that we are not able to remember him?
Not necessary.
But in most of the cases, because people aren't aware why God, the Supreme God, has to take the help of the monkeys. Another thing is, through these leelas, Krishna and his avatars, they are able to exhibit, show in front of this world the vibhuti of power, of vibrations. I am the transcendental Om. Amongst innumerable things, I am the Himalayas. Among the Daityas, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Time is the ultimate subduer. If the creation is so beautiful, imagine how beautiful the creator is.
So, do you think Arjuna is convinced after this piece? Pranam Prabhuji. So we continue with chapter 10, yeah, and Arjuna is keen now and is interested from his own self now to know more about this opulence of Lord Krishna.
Shri Krishna. See, in the Vishnu Puran, Parashara Muni, the author of Vishnu Puran, he defines God. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasashriyaha jnana vairagya yochaiva shannam bhaga itingana. Who is God? He explains. Aishwaryasya samagrasya, one who has unlimited wealth. Viryasya, one who is unlimitedly powerful. Yashasaha, who has unlimited fame. Shriyaha, who has unlimited beauty. Jnana, who has unlimited knowledge. Vairagya, one who has unlimited renunciation. Such a person is God. Now, these are called vibhutis. Wealth, fame, beauty, knowledge, etc. etc. And generally in this world, if a person possesses it, a person possesses it to a limited extent for a limited period of time. But when it comes to God, God by definition is somebody who has all these opulences unlimitedly for all time.
Yeah.
And to understand these vibhutis of God in detail is very important for us to be able to remember God always. Now, each one of these opulences, wealth for example, in this world a person has wealth. Naturally a person will have wealth at the most for the duration of his or her life. Beyond that, that wealth will be taken away from that person. But even when that wealth is possessed by a mortal of this world for a limited period of time, such a person becomes very attractive. See, tell me the name of a wealthy person.
The latest now is Mr. Larry Ellison, the richest man, Oracle.
Larry Ellison. Ellison. So, at this particular point of time, how many people on the planet are remembering him?
Maybe a few, not many.
But still, it will be substantially more than the number of people remembering me.
Yeah.
And substantially more than any ordinary person of this world. Right? At any given point of time, people might be watching a video on him, maybe reading some article about him. Cumulative number of people who are remembering him at this moment will be much more than as compared to any other person of this world.
Yes.
So that wealth that the person possesses makes that person more rememberable. Aishwarya, and then power, virya. Narendra Modi ji, a powerful personality, is the head of a nation. Now, right now, how many people might be remembering him? Maybe at least a few thousand, if not a few lakh people. They might be discussing about him, maybe they're watching videos about him in so many ways. He becomes more easy to remember because of the power that he possesses.
That vibhuti, yeah.
That vibhuti. So, each one of these vibhutis, even if a person possesses to some extent, that makes that person more rememberable and more attractive.
Yeah.
It could be beauty, film stars. So many people are discussing about them, watching them, this, that, remembering them. Same thing. See, God possesses all these vibhutis to an unlimited degree. Still, why is it that we are not able to remember him? Remembrance of Narendra Modi, remembrance of Allison. All these people comes more naturally to us than remembrance of God. Why?
Not necessarily.
But in most of the cases.
Most of the cases, yeah.
Because people aren't aware
of the unlimited
opulences of God. To the extent people are educated, and they're educated in a convincing way, and they're convinced about it, the more it will become naturally easy to remember God also.
Correct.
And that's the purpose of this chapter here, actually.
I see.
To understand in detail. See, Krishna is going to explain so many things here, but all these things that Krishna is explaining in this particular chapter can be categorized into one of these 6 things.
Where you're seeing all these things, all these 5 or 6 vibhutis, which are very sought after in the material world, are all there in unlimited amount for unlimited periods of time in God.
Yes. And everything that people of this world possess is coming from God only ultimately. Correct. So once we become aware of this, once we understand this, then it becomes natural to remember God always. See, that is why when Krishna, he comes or he incarnates in various forms. See, there are different kinds of avatars here actually. There are the Purusha avatars, and then there are Guna avatars, Manvantara avatars, Shakti avatars, etc. But the most prominent avatars are called leela avatars. When Krishna and the different incarnations of Lord Vishnu, they come to exhibit leelas. See, when Lord Ram, he came, for example, Ram avatar. Now, Lord Ram, first of all, he didn't have to come personally to kill Ravana.
Correct.
He could have given Ravana a heart attack. Big deal. Ravana will be finished in no time. Why God, the supreme God, has to take the help of the monkeys? He has to build a stone bridge across the ocean, take all that effort, go to Lanka, kill Ravana, and then come out victorious. It's called leela. See, when we do something, it is not leela, because we are forced to go through a certain ordeal in life. But when God does something, it is actually leela, because he is not subjugated to the laws of karma. Now, what happens is in the Ramayana, when Sita Mai is abducted, if you read Valmiki Ramayana, Ram practically goes crazy actually. He goes through the Dandakaranya forest along with Lakshman and he's crying, wailing, like an ordinary person of this world who has lost a wife. He goes and asks trees, creepers, have you seen my Sita, have you seen my Sita? He's lamenting, like an ordinary person. So at this time, what happens is, Lord Shiva and Parvati, they're going by the airways. And Parvati, when she sees Lord Ramchandra lamenting in this way, she's a little confused. Is he really God? He's lamenting like an ordinary person. I would like to go and test him. Lord Shiva warns him, you don't meddle in this. It's a leela that is happening. You don't try all these gimmicks. But Parvati said, no, I'll go and see. So she takes the form of Sita and goes in front of Lord Ram. Because he's lamenting like a crazy person, like an ordinary human being. So when Parvati comes in the form of Sita in front of Lord Ram, Ram immediately becomes grave. And he does his pranam. Oh mother, oh mata, what brings you here? So immediately Parvati offers her obeisances back and goes back to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva said, I told you, you don't. It's a leela that is happening. See, why does Lord Ram have to go through this? Why? Because, see, if things are done in a ziffy, where is the subject matter to discuss about God? That is one thing. Once there is a leela, Ramayana, when people discuss about Ramayana, as we had discussed in our previous session also, Machchitta Madgata Prana, when people discuss about Ramayana, it helps them elevate their consciousness to the next level.
Yeah.
It's purifying when we discuss the leelas of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram leaves behind his pastimes for discussing subject matters for discussion. Right? Another thing is, through these leelas, Krishna and his avatars, they get an opportunity to exhibit these vibhutis. They are able to exhibit, show in front of this world the vibhuti of power, the vibhuti of beauty, and the wealth, etc., etc. See, it is demonstrated through these leelas. And when we hear these leela, we become more and more convinced about the greatness of God. And then it becomes easier to remember Him constantly. That's the whole point here. So, Krishna begins. He says that, yes, he replies to Arjuna, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna. For my opulence is limitless.
Oh, I see.
I can't tell you everything, but I'll tell you the most prominent things. I am the super soul. Ahamatma gudakesha sarvabhuta shayastita ahamadischa madhyam cha bhutanam antevaja. He kind of summarizes it before he starts. He says that I am the super soul, the Parmatma Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. Now, we should always remember this. That when Krishna is trying to give Arjuna an indication of his greatness, he is giving a reference point from this world to give Arjuna an indication of his greatness. See, in the Vedas, this is called Shaka Chandra Nyaya. Shaka Chandra Nyaya. Shaka is branches, Chandra is the moon. A small child who is just growing up now, and if the mother has to give an understanding to the child of what is the moon or where the moon is situated. Now, a moon is it's a heavenly object, right? It's beyond the reach of the child. But it has to be made reachable to the child, the moon. So what does the mother do? She shows to the child, you see, beta, those branches of the tree are there. In between the branches of the tree, वो जो सफेद गोल दिख रहा है ना, वो चंदा मामा है. अभी चंदा मामा कहाँ, branches of the tree कहाँ? But the branches of the tree are used to explain the concept of the moon. Because the child can relate to the branches of the tree now. So that is used as a reference point to give an understanding of what the moon is. So similarly, God is beyond our comprehension right now. But the manifestations of this world are within our reach. So what Krishna is doing here is, again, Shaka Chandra Nyaya. He is using the reference points of the great things of this world to give us an estimate of how great He is. Now the examples that Krishna is giving in these verses, most of the examples, it won't light any bulbs in today's day and age. But these examples were very relevant back in the day when people were more in touch with the Vedic wisdom. So he's telling, of the Adityas I am Vishnu, of lights I am the radiant sun, of the Maruts I am Marichi, and among the stars I am the moon. See, these are all celestial Vedic examples. So amongst the stars I am the moon. See, of all the luminous objects which you see in the sky, the most prominent is the moon.
Moon, yeah.
So, see, gives an indication of Krishna's greatness. Again, Shaka Chandra Nyaya here. And then he says, Of the Vedas, I am the Sama Veda. Of the demigods, I am Indra. Indra, as I said, is the chief amongst the demigods. Of the senses, I am the mind. Mind is the chief of the senses. Right? And in living beings, I am the living force. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Meru is considered to be the most prominent mountain in Vedic cosmology. In today's day and age, if Krishna were to speak these verses, he would have probably said, among bankers, I am Deepak Gupta.
No way.
To give an understanding of, see, amongst cricketers, I am Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah,
like that.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
No, this also makes sense, So, we should understand this in that light actually. Of the priests, Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brahaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Sarasamasmi Sagara. Some years ago, we keep going on yatras. I was at Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri, it's situated on the shores of the Bay of Bengal, right? I was next to the sea. And generally, there are a lot of people frolicking around in the shores, on the beach generally. But on that particular instance, there was nobody around. It was just me. It was a vast sea in front of me. Just the vast expanse of the sea, which is, you can't see the end of it at all. I remember this verse, Rasamasi Sagra. And in that moment, it kind of clicked to me that how insignificant I am.
Absolutely.
See, what is this sea? What is this creation?
Yeah.
It's like awe-inspiring. I am insignificant in comparison. See, in the modern day world, we are so distanced from nature. And the more we are distanced from nature, caught in our own pigeonholes in urban cities, crowded cities, that people start imagining that they are great.
Correct.
Even if we are exposed to nature even a little bit, we start wondering, what am I?
You see those mountains behind? It looks so very simple and easy. The moment you go there, you realize, hey, this mountain which was looking just next door, so simple, is actually so crazy. I'm insignificant in this whole diamond thing.
Absolutely.
In that mountain, okay?
In this mountain.
Forget the very wider world. Really.
Yes. So, when we are actually in touch with nature, we come face to face with our insignificance. But unfortunately, in the modern world, see, this separation from nature is a very dangerous thing. So, in that moment, as I was telling, Sarasamasmi Sagara. So, I remember at that particular point of time, this vast ocean, Krishna says, he's the source of it. Amongst the bodies of water, I am the ocean. I am as great as the vast ocean. And immediately, I got a glimpse of God's greatness.
And that ocean is insignificant amongst oceans on Earth, really.
Earth only.
Anywhere else.
Isn't it? It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And these verses are meant for contemplation, on deliberation. And if you actually ponder on them, it becomes more and more easier to see God within this creation also. Of the great sages, I am Bhrugu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Pranavaha, it is called. See, no Vedic mantra can be chanted without Om. It's the foundational principles of all Vedic mantras. So Krishna is telling, basically he is trying to indicate that he is the foundational principle of all that exists. When he's telling that, now actually Om, there are different ways of understanding it. Om, sound vibration, is the source of all creation, it is explained. It consists of A, U and three put together. A. Aksharanam akarosmi, Krishna is going to tell in a future verse here. The A, he says that amongst aksharas, amongst strings of letters, I am the akar. Because without akar, you can't spell anything else. You have to tell ka, kha, gaga. You can't tell it actually without the akar in it. So Krishna is telling, I am that akar. So A is Sri Krishna, U represents Radharani, and indicates living entities who are coming from Sri Krishna. So O, U, A, U and together is Om. So it contains Radha Krishna and all the living entities put together in it. And the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a manifestation of Omkar also. Look at that. So Krishna is telling here, I am the transcendental O of sacrifices. This is beautiful. Yajnanam japa yajnosmi. Amongst yajnas, I am japa yajna, the highest. The highest is japa yajna, the chanting of the holy names. So the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, when we chant it, we are performing the highest yajna. Yajnanam japa yajnosmi, sthavaranam Himalaya. Amongst immovable things, I am the Himalayas. And then of all trees, I am the banyan tree. I think you had a banyan tree here.
Not a banyan.
It's a people tree.
People tree. It's a
Okay.
people tree, yes.
And of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitrartha. And among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. And then of the many-hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. As I explained, a lot of these analogies are more relevant during the Vedic time.
Medieval times.
When people were more in touch with these personalities which appear in the Puranas, Shastras, etc. Among the Daityas, I am the devoted Prahlad. Prahlad, even though he was born a Daitya, he was one of amongst the topmost devotees. So among the Daityas, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Time is the ultimate subduer. See, great conquerors, they might have conquered big kings and emperors, but ultimately they are subdued by time. So Krishna is telling, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end and also the middle, Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the cells. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyana. See, this is the ultimate Vidya. The Vidya of transcendence. He is the king of all education. Vada Pravadatamaham. And among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. And what I told earlier, Aksharanam Akarosmi. Of letters, I am the letter A.
Oh.
Aham evakshaya kalo dataham vishwato mukham. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators I am Brahma. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. So in this way, he is explaining so many things here. And then finally he concludes. He says, Nantostima divyanam vibhutinam prantapa eshaduddesha prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Right? Yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad urjitam eva tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. See, the human mind feels the craving to be odd. We like to be odd. We love to be odd. Somebody does something extraordinary, we become happy.
Yeah.
See, some cricketer, he scores maybe a century out of 20 balls. 20 balls में century मार दिया. And we become so awe-inspired. We love it. Something extraordinary. We love to see something extraordinary. Now Krishna is telling that whatever extraordinary things you see in this world, know that
Spark.
it's a spark of my splendor. See, it becomes easy to remember Krishna, number one, by remembering this particular verse. And also, we understand that how much greater God is.
Correct.
When we see the great things of this world, if we remind ourselves how much more great God is, it becomes all the more easy to be conscious of God all the time. And the more we are conscious of the greatness of God, the faster we become purified. And we transcend up. And that's exactly the reason why Krishna is explaining all these in these verses. And then he concludes this chapter. Atava bahunetena kim jnadena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Now, what Krishna, one way is, everything is like literally with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Another thing is also that, see, I was speaking about different kinds of avatars to you. There is leela avatars explained, and then there is something called purusha avatars. Purusha avatars are avatars that Krishna takes for the sake of the material creation. I think in the previous session we discussed about it. Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Correct? So these are the Purusha avatars. So Karanodakshaya Vishnu, he glances upon the Mahatattva and he kind of infuses it with Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, I explained. And within each universe that he so infuses with Kala Shakti and Jiva Shakti, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters into it to create variety within it. And once, see, you must have seen photographs where Vishnu is lying on Anantashesh, a bed of snake, and from his navel, lotus flower is coming, and on top of the lotus flower, Brahmaji is born. That is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So, Brahmaji, he creates varieties within the creation, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, he enters further into the creation to support everything. Without the existence of Vishnu, things can't be supported.
So first he creates and then he supports also.
Supports also. And that is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So actually, factually speaking, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is considered to be a fragment of the fragment of the fragment of Shri Krishna. Amsha. So, he is responsible for all the manifestations of this world. That's what Krishna is telling here. With a single fragment of myself, which is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, I pervade and support this entire universe. What to speak of original Shri Krishna? See, once Prabhupada and his disciples, Prabhupada used to go on morning walks. He was very balanced in the sense that he knew that he had to take care of his health properly. So somebody had told him that, a doctor had told him that you need to do morning walks to keep yourself fit. So every morning he used to go, and wherever he was in the world, he used to go on a morning walk. So once upon a time, I think it was California, he was on a morning walk, and there was this huge Pacific Ocean there. And there was, the sunrise. The sun is rising. Pacific, California sunrise is visible, right?
Sunset, because it will be east.
East.
It's west. It's west, so you can't see it from the Pacific Ocean.
So maybe
set hoga.
Either it is set or maybe he was in some other place where the sun was rising. Anyway, the beauty of the sunrise or the sunset, all that it's naturally very beautiful. It's very beautiful, it is very attractive. So Prabhupada, he made a very beautiful point. He said that if the creation is so beautiful, imagine how beautiful the creator is.
Correct.
So that's the way in which a devotee sees every aspect of the creation and remembers the creator.
It's back to your vastness of the sea in front of you, how big the creator actually must be.
Anyway, so we'll end here and then we'll be discussing the universal form, Vishwaroop.
I see.
In our next class.
Okay. Chalo. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you think Arjuna is convinced after this piece?
Absolutely, he's convinced.
Okay. Chaliye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pranam.
Arjun is now keen to know much more about Krishna's opulence or vibhutis, and Krishna outlines them for us in these verses. We understand that God has unlimited wealth, unlimited power, unlimited fame, unlimited beauty, unlimited knowledge, and unlimited renunciation. Unlike mortals like us, who can have only limited vibhutis for limited period of time, God has unlimited vibhutis for unlimited period of time. We need to understand and appreciate these unlimited vibhutis of God to be able to remember Him always. We are told that God does leelas from time to time in His incarnations to demonstrate these vibhutis. Krishna tells us that He is the super soul, the Parmatma, seated in the hearts of all living entities. He is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. God is far beyond our comprehension. Hence, Krishna gives us reference points of great things in this world to explain and help us comprehend how great He is. He simultaneously gives us comparisons of His greatness with these numerous reference points. Thus, comparisons are drawn with the radiance of the sun, the knowledge of the Sama Veda, the Lord of wealth with fire, with the Meru mountain, with the ocean water, with the transcendental vibration of the word Om, and numerous others. When we are actually in touch with nature, we understand the vastness of nature and realize how insignificant we are. And we realize that when the creation is so beautiful, we get to imagine how much more beautiful and powerful the Creator must be. And it is when we realize how much greater God is, it becomes easier for us to be conscious of God, and the faster we get purified. This ends chapter 10, where we got insights into the various opulence of Krishna.